First with breaking news. First with new information. Plus, your first alert forecast. 19 News starts now.
You heard, you know firsthand. Your dad, your son, your husband, your brother. He was an amazing man. The community loved him. Everybody who knew him, everybody who interacted with him, loved him.
Kind words from the Ohio Attorney General for a man who left his mark on this community and all over Northeast Ohio. Today, we remember a fallen hero, Sergeant Scott Reese. Thanks for joining us first at 4. I'm Nicole Versansky. Brian Duffy is off today. We do have team coverage on this somber day, saying goodbye and honoring a hero. We begin with Catherine Huntley outside the church where the funeral took place, with the strong and powerful emotions today inside at Wadsworth Church.
You could just feel the weight of this unfathomable loss. I mean, hundreds of people, more than 1,000 people were here, hundreds of law enforcement vehicles, and the overarching message to know Scott Reese was to love him, and he has left a permanent mark on this greater community. Sergeant Scott Reese is remembered as a man who was always there for those he loved, especially his family. During the eulogy, we found out his daughter said he was the kind of dad who never ran out of answers. A man always present at cheer competitions, softball tournaments, and every family function. He was a dedicated husband, married to the love of his life, Michelle, for 29 years. Someone his family, friends, and everybody in the community could depend on.
A man who grew up beside Scott and played high school football with it said it much better than I can. He told me yesterday, he said, Scott spent 7 seconds protecting me on the football field, and he spent the rest of his life protecting others. 7 seconds on a Friday night and 31 years for the rest of us. You don't give a life like that to strangers. You give it to people you love. So hear me. Whether Scott ever said the words to you or not, he loved you. You don't have to wonder about it. Just look at his life. That's what those people on the street were standing for. It wasn't just for an officer. It was a neighbor who loved them. And when we lose someone like that, the question turns to us. What do we do now? Here's what we do. We pick up where he carried. It's not the badge, but the love.
Message today: live your life like Sergeant Reese. Value your family, value your friends, value your community, because you never know when you might lose it. His funeral ended with the final radio call, an extremely somber moment. Everybody in the crowd just about had tears in their eyes, and ended with this extremely touching procession. Hundreds and hundreds of law enforcement cars escorting Sergeant Reese to his final resting place. For now, live in Wadsworth, Catherine Huntley, 19 News.
Catherine, thank you. And just so many people giving their well wishes, a community, police departments from all over. Dan DeRose joining us now with just, Dan, what we've seen today is just a tremendous outpouring of support.
And unfortunately, we see it too often. We had Police Chief John Majoy from Newburgh Heights joining our coverage. He himself has participated in too many funerals, been a part of those processions of the vehicles, the men and women in blue following the hearse. He said today was about finding out who this man was as a person. It's not just the badge. It was a commitment. Chief Majoy saying, think about this. When he left for work that Sunday morning, when he said goodbye to his wife that day, he had no idea that he would never make it home. And today was about remembering a man who dedicated his life to his community, his family, and the rest of us.
It's the human side that's behind the badge. And as I said, sometimes you see people, that's the police officer, but we're more than that. You know, we're humans. We have loved ones. We have hobbies. We like to fish and hunt and do things like that. And, you know, Sergeant Reese is kind of like the poster child for that. Right. I mean, he lived life to the fullest, as it seems, had an amazing family, did a lot of good things during his career, and did it because he loved doing it. And so it speaks volumes for him, but also speaks a lot for that department, too, to stick around and want to continue that dedication for that length of the time that he did. It's really amazing.
And it was a 31-year career. He was 10 years with the Rittman Police Department, but he had been at Wayne County and a couple of other departments for 31 years. A dedicated man who clearly loved what he did and ran into that danger that day, that Sunday evening, ran towards danger while many would have run away.
And stay with 19 News as this story touches so many people. We continue to honor the life of Police Sergeant Scott Reese. Coming up at 4:30, we hear from the community about how he touched their lives. And there are two other victims in the Rittman tragedy, a mother and a daughter, Christine and McKinley McWilliams. Their services are tomorrow. Calling hours are from 4 until 7 at Rittman United Methodist Church, followed by a memorial service starting at 7.
Now your 19 First Alert forecast, certified most accurate since 2004.
We are tracking scattered showers and thunderstorms on this Friday afternoon. Activity staying south of the lakeshore, and that's pretty much how it's going to be for the rest of the day. Nothing is severe, but these have been efficient rain producers, so there's been some torrential downpours in spots. We're seeing that across parts of Wayne County, especially southern Medina. You head to southern Summit, especially from Stark, and over to areas like Tuscarawas, and even northeastern Carroll is on the little sliver of this flash flood warning. I've also been watching this cluster of storms, generally staying just outside of our area, but we're watching areas like southern Richland that could get on this activity. Flood watch in effect for some of our counties until 10 p.m. So there could be some areas of high water, but that's going to be south of the lakeshore. The rest of us will stay dry, start to cool off on that north to northeast breeze, and overall it'll be a nicer evening. I'm tracking the scattered storms for you coming up. A pretty decent weekend is ahead, and we'll talk about things heating up next week here in just a bit.
After days of the United States and Iran exchanging military strikes, the last hours have been quiet. This morning, President Trump said he has agreed to continue peace negotiations at Tehran's request. But at the same time, he said the ceasefire with Iran is over. Nana Sencho-Bansu has the latest from the White House.
On social media Friday, President Trump said the U.S. agreed to a request from Iran to continue talks over a potential peace deal, while adding, quote, "In no uncertain terms, the ceasefire is over." Sources confirmed to CBS News that Vice President J.D. Vance, as well as Special Envoy Steve Witkoff and the president's son-in-law, Jared Kushner, have been speaking with Qatari mediators in efforts to revive the truce with Iran.
Both sides do have an interest in not returning to the level of intensity that we saw in March and April. The United States has an interest in keeping traffic flowing through the Strait of Hormuz. The Iranians also need revenue, so they need to be selling the oil that comes through the Strait of Hormuz.
Iran targeted key U.S. allies in the Gulf this week as the U.S. says it hit more than 170 Iranian military targets along the Strait of Hormuz in efforts to weaken Iran's grip on the vital oil trade route.
Amid concerns that the two nations could return to full-blown hostilities, the Wall Street Journal is reporting that Israel shared intelligence with the U.S. on a new Iranian plot to kill President Trump.
Sources tell CBS News that the Secret Service recommended that President Trump leave the NATO summit in Turkey Wednesday on the old Air Force One rather than the new jet, which was a gift from Qatar.
This is an aircraft that was spec'd out and prioritized for luxury, not safety.
U.S. officials told CBS News that the new plane was rushed into service and lacked some desired security capabilities. Nana Sencho-Bansu, CBS News.
Two officials from the region tell CBS News that Iranian officials will travel to Oman tomorrow for talks on the Strait of Hormuz and their dispute over shipping lanes. A 19 crime alert, Springfield Township Police trying to identify 4 suspects. Here they are on your screen. Some of the pictures are actually pretty clear here. We're told they took several mobile food orders from Wingstop on Wednesday. Call Springfield Township Police if you recognize any of these people. As summer temperatures climb, many Americans are bracing for their next electric bill. So what's the magic number for your thermostat if you want to stay cool without burning through cash? Evan Moon has answers from an expert.
Temperatures are rising and so are energy costs. If your air conditioner is working overtime this summer, how low can you set the thermostat and still save?
My bill, I'm afraid to look, but right now it's on 69 and blasting.
We keep it at 75.
Around 62.
Sustainable energy expert Patrick Phelan has tips.
It's typically somewhere between about 75 to 76, something like that is considered optimal.
Phelan says each degree can save you money.
1 degree Fahrenheit adjustment or increase in the thermostat set point gives you about a 3% savings in your cooling costs.
Think you should turn the AC off when you leave? Not so fast. Experts say the best balance for comfort and energy savings is to raise the thermostat a few degrees while you're away, rather than shutting the system off completely.
And when your air conditioner is working, it's condensing the water out of the air inside of your house. And that's really important as well in terms of comfort, right? And so that's another reason not to just shut off your air conditioner if you can help it.
According to the Department of Energy, adjusting your thermostat by 7 to 10 degrees for 8 hours a day can save up to 10% a year on heating and cooling. Phelan says smart thermostats can be an effective way to do this.
Installing a smart one like a Nest, then you can expect something like 10% savings. It's learning that when you're not at home to adjust.
From your home's insulation to the climate you live in, energy costs can vary. But for a quick win, experts say close the blinds during the day to help beat the heat without feeling the burn on your next bill. Evan Moon, CBS News.
Who owns a winning lottery ticket from a Circle K in Scottsdale, Arizona? That's the $12.8 million question. In November, a customer walked into Circle K. A clerk printed $85 worth of tickets. The woman only had $60, but all $85 worth of tickets were already printed. The next morning, the manager realized one of the excess tickets matched all 6 numbers. The payout, $12.8 million.
Made a managerial decision. I decided to clock out of the store and end my first shift, take care of this issue. So I'm obliging by the rules, and then I proceeded to clock back in and then start my second shift.
In recent months, Circle K has asked a judge to determine who legally owns the ticket. The manager's attorney claims Circle K had a long-standing company policy requiring employees to purchase accidentally generated lottery tickets with their own money. The winning ticket has been at Circle K's corporate office since November.
Quietly becoming the kind of person a community learns to lean on without ever once making a production of it.
A solemn goodbye today to Rittman Police Sergeant Scott Reese. So many kind words today for the man who died in the line of duty. Northside Christian Church was packed with thousands of people, more than 1,000, friends, family, and mourning law enforcement officers. Sadly, there are services tomorrow for 2 other victims from that day. Calling hours are from 4 until 7 at Rittman United Methodist Church for Christine and McKinley McWilliams. U.S. Marshals say a wanted sex offender was arrested early this morning. Matthew Hensley was wanted by the Cuyahoga County Sheriff's Department. He was found at the same home where a missing Tennessee mother was found dead on July 3rd. You're looking at video from this arrest. We still don't know the woman's cause of death, and there have been no charges yet. The woman's 8-year-old child walked to a Cleveland fire station alone and is now safe. Cleveland police with a new clue as they search for a driver involved in a deadly hit and run on July 4th. They just gave us this picture. It's not the best quality, but police believe this is the vehicle involved. Investigators believe it's a 2020 Ford Escape. Police say the driver hit a 66-year-old, Verl Ott. He was in a wheelchair. This was on Pearl Road. Another car then hit and killed him. That second driver, however, stayed at the scene. The final senior PGA Tour event happens this weekend at Firestone in Akron. We told you in May the PGA was ending its 72-year partnership with Firestone Country Club. They'll move the tournament to California next year. The PGA Tour left Akron in 2018. The Senior Tour has been playing there since 2019. Well, they're shipping up to Boston. Tall ships are rolling into Boston Harbor in honor of America's 250th birthday. The 6-day celebration kicks off tomorrow morning with the Parade of Sail. More than 50 international tall ships and military vessels will parade from Broad Sound into the harbor's main channel. Organizers expect more than 4 million people to attend all the festivities.
We're profoundly honored to host these magnificent tall ships, serving as living testaments to human ingenuity, maritime history, and international friendship.
Prior to the Boston voyage, the fleet spent 5 days in New York City for Independence Day celebrations. We want to show you a new video, first at 4, showing the moment police arrested a local man with dozens of license suspensions, 54 to be exact. Stephen Hernandez has the body cam video of his latest arrest.
What you're seeing here is a sight that Eddie Cruz knows all too well. The 39-year-old has 54 license suspensions, and this dash cam captures his latest arrest. Let's walk through the footage. Back on July 2nd in Elyria, Cruz turned from West River Road onto David Drive without using his turn signal. Police say Cruz didn't immediately stop when officers tried to pull him over. He instead slowly rolled his red pickup truck into a parking lot before coming to a stop. This isn't the first time Cruz has been in this situation. The repeat offender has already had 3 convictions for driving under an OVI suspension in the past 2 years. This dash cam captures the same information being relayed to the responding officer.
188 history of drugs and non-compliance. Got it.
And this time it's no different. After officers search Cruz's car, he's arrested. Once again, for driving while under an OVI suspension and for failure to display his car registration. Altogether, court records show 27 of his driving suspensions are still active. Each time, Cruz posted bond and was released from jail. In a statement, Elyria Police Captain Bill Land said Cruz has demonstrated a repeated disregard for Ohio's driver licensing laws, and officers will continue to proactively enforce those laws to keep our roadways safe. Cruz pleaded not guilty to both of his charges, and his next court date will be in 2 weeks. Stephen Hernandez, 19 News.
The Canton City Hall is closed today because of a water line break in the building. So all court hearings, appointments, and any meetings that were scheduled for today were canceled. The police department, however, was still open. It is day 5 of the LeBron watch. Feels like week 5, to be honest. Where is LeBron, literally and figuratively? Let's bring in Leah Doherty with the latest.
The wait just continues, right? Well, as far as we know, LeBron is still in Puerto Rico, where it's 90 and sunny. Here in Cleveland, the LeBron story is still pretty cloudy. Everyone has an opinion or a source or both. That's how it goes, right? And if you really want to go down the rabbit hole of theories, here's a good one for you. Caroline's Cupcakes in Canton. They accurately predicted LeBron would come back to the Cavs in 2014. Now the owner has posted again, not only saying LeBron is coming back, but that he's bringing Draymond Green and his son Bronny with him. Here's Draymond and LeBron yesterday on the golf course. At this point, Caroline's Cupcakes, they probably know as much as anyone. Even LeBron's agent, Rich Paul, claims he's in the dark.
What's the LeBron update?
There is none. There is none. I wish I knew. He's taking his time, man. Really evaluating things, taking his time. And I've really left him alone. Play golf, do what the things you need to do. He understands where things are, and so when he gets ready, he'll let me know.
Okay, so maybe you're not into the cupcake theory. How about online betting? Polymarket says the Cavs have a 63% chance to get him, followed by Miami at 17%, Golden State at 14%, Philly at 6%. And Kalshi, another prediction market, says fans have already bet $70 million on where he's going to go. That is just absurd. In the studio, Leah Doherty, 19 News.
Just Have to wait and see, I guess. All right, now to a nice job by 2 police officers in Westlake. Officers Reyes and Inal saved a kitten. They got a call about someone hearing some meowing coming from a drain pipe, and the homeowner says it went on for 2 days. But here he is. The officers managed to get the kitten out of the drain. He's been taken to a cat rescue until it's ready for adoption. And today, by the way, is actually National Kitten Day. So a big thanks to those officers for saving that little kitty.
Well, outside right now it looks really nice in Avon. This is from our forefront field camera, I-90 there, the construction zone, but at least rain not slowing you down this time. Notice how we are seeing some storms being reported at the Akron-Canton Airport, where it's 76, and in Worcester, where it's 75. The rest of us, though, hovering upper 70s to lower 80s. Notice that feels like number in many areas a little bit higher. That means it's still humid, but that humidity is dropping this weekend, and it's going to feel very nice, especially on Sunday. So for tomorrow, we're partly cloudy, just a stray shower possible, highs in the lower 80s. We're going to be cooler Saturday night, low and mid 60s will be common, so a little bit more refreshing. That means the humidity will be dropping, and we end up on Sunday with a very nice finish to our weekend, mostly sunny, pleasant overall with high temperatures in the mid 80s. But we will be seeing the return of the heat as we head through the middle of next week. Heat index, or what it's going to feel like. Notice by really this weekend, it's very close to the actual air temperature, which means there's no humidity concerns. Even on Monday, I have a high of 86. It'll feel like 88. So really no concerns there, but we'll feel like the mid 90s, maybe upper 90s at most as we head from Tuesday, Wednesday into Thursday. Good news though, right now not seeing any triple digit feel like conditions. So we likely will not be seeing any heat advisories or extreme heat warnings issued. So we've been through our first heat wave, which is a pretty intense one. This one, it's going to get hot again, but not quite a repeat. We'll talk a bit more about that long-term forecast and have another look at the extended coming up just before the top of the hour.
A 19 recall alert now. Conair is recalling Cuisinart Propel Plus 4-burner 3-in-1 gas grills with this pizza oven here. So apparently the tempered glass window can shatter while you're using it. The company received 37 reports of that happening. Visit Conair's website to check if your grill is included in this recall, and then of course how you can get a refund.